We've been greenlit for another season. The story continues.
At the end of season 1 of Dexter Resurrection, Dexter had another happy ending. This was his first happy ending of a season, really since season 5, or perhaps even earlier if you consider when Dexter himself was actually this happy. But actually, there's a lot of stuff that happened in this last episode, and I think over the course of this season, that shows Dexter's win included a lot of complacency.
I want them.
And although he won yet again, because of these mistakes he made, his fate was foreshadowed. And there's a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have done. Of course, press the like button on the video, it does help me out, and make sure you subscribe with the notification bell set to all so you never miss a video from me. So firstly, Claudette knowing Dexter gave a perfect description of what the New York Ripper used, and it now being revealed to be in Prater's vault, and Batista being killed there after pursuing Dexter. That in itself logically will set Claudette's alarm off. I said in my Dexter video before this that that is the most likely thing to happen logically, but the writers may twist it and bend it a bit to have Dexter have a bit more time, because Claudette is going to be so wrapped up in the New York Ripper still, because with how different the New York Ripper's folder was, I think it's really likely that it isn't as detailed as what we've seen with the other ones. Of course, the VIPs are the people that went to Prater's gatherings. That is not on the Ripper's file, so he's likely not even met Prater. Notice how the files of the killers we saw have clear on them, because they're cleared, they're good to go, they're safe to pursue and bring to Prater. Some have destroy because they're no longer needed, but the Ripper's has farm for more information needed. There is the connection of Jonah Mitchell using a hay hook, and the file saying farm could be a connection to there, but that's a more literal way of looking at it. These are document and data terms. There's nothing on the other files that says where they're from, so I don't know why that would be referencing where he's from. But I guess the Ripper could be an exception because information on him seems to be so sparse. The most important thing though is that he's not a VIP and there's very limited information on him just from the cover. You might think, well, how would Prater get the weapon then? Well, Prater got some of this stuff from people actually in the force. He bought them off them, but of course Claudette didn't know what the weapon was, so Charlie could have found it on the scene and taken it to him. There's so many explanations as to how that could have happened. The thing is with the Ripper is him even coming back and being a big villain in the future has always been just a theory, a hypothetical, because since the start of the show it's always been the given that the Ripper investigation was always just there to be this unsolved case from long ago that haunted Claudette. It was just for her and a device to show her finding more out about him, and Melvin probably warning her not to turn out like Batista and dying for a case that she can't solve and can't let go of. And of course the thing that kind of sets alarms off about Dexter,
A longer object, something with a handle that could be swung, maybe with a point at the end, like a hook.
of course he's really good at forensics and he was making it known, but he really leans into it. It's almost this bragging, this taunting. He had successfully denounced Batista to her, but he walked back, and it's in this episode, I think above others, that you kind of feel like he thinks he's invincible, and when that happens in Dexter, whenever we've seen him do this, he's usually humbled. Just minutes after this happened, Harrison gets in his car and asks him,
Are you freaked out at all that Batista's talking to Detective Wallace?
I'm not worried.
but sure enough, he was at Blessings when he got back. And when they were in the car together, he failed to intimidate him. Since Dexter's been up from the coma, he's been really confident and risks being really complacent. A big thing I've seen people say in my comments is the yacht he took from Prater. It's obviously going to be known to Prater and it could have trackers on it. People said he might ditch it after, but I kind of like the idea of him sailing around to get to the killers he picked the files up for. And to be fair, he only found out about the yacht because he saw an obscure picture of it. Changed the documents and the information about the yacht, which we've seen Dexter can do stuff like that. And he should be okay. I think it's more a question of what will people think when they see a yacht car driver sailing about in a yacht. Will he say he's got it from a family member that passed? You know, like he's got money from someone's will. That was one of the first things Saul Goodman mentioned to Walter White in Breaking Bad when trying to legally get Walt's money to his family.
Uncle Murray.
Will he desert it and to make it look like Prater fled? Or will he still use it but just hide the yacht? Another thing is Dexter took his blood slides. I saw people saying that he took the nameplate off of it, that said it was the Bay Harbour Butchers, but he didn't, at least not on screen. He took that, took the files, took the bag, and I think that's going to stick out a bit in the investigation of it, because in this big vault where all this stuff is labelled, everything is there, why are the Bay Harbour Butcher slides gone? Why did Prater, who they know and have good reason to believe killed Batista, cover him up after? Again, realistically that should stick out, but will that actually be an issue for him? Will they bend the logic of it for a bit? Now, of course, he took the John Doe duffel bag too, but this is what detectives do. They're going to piece together that he's taken the bag and the slides, and it will lead more into it being the Bay Harbour Butcher than it will John Doe duffel bag. This is another thing that I think depends on Claudette, and with this new information on the Ripper, I just don't think her mind will be there yet, which explains it being at least 2 more seasons. I don't think Dexter will be suspected by at least the NYPD till at least the end of season 2, maybe season 3, because because she's wrapped up in the Ripper, even though they have this name that, again, isn't the best proof you could get in the world because it's in a series based on fake names and aliases. I'll link you to my last video where I mentioned that. And I think the biggest thing that was there all along, it sticks out so much and it's so obvious in that scene, is the guest book. Everyone was so wrapped up in the documents and the names that they didn't see the guest book, so Prater's gonna have, of course, Ronald Smith's Red written on there, where Dexter came in.
Ronald Schmidt Red.
But don't you think with how elaborately set up everything was with Batista when Prater found out, in excitement for having the Bay Harbour Butcher in his presence, he could have straight away written down somewhere, the Bay Harbour Butcher, because he's been in his vault.
And I love it! I'm just so excited to be talking to the Bay Harbour Butcher.
Prater was excited. He was honoured from it. I don't think Dexter would have even thought to look in the guest book because Prater always knew him as Ronald, as far as he knows, until about 5 minutes ago. I think they deliberately put it right in the middle of the files and had Dexter just not look at them. It's for the viewers to catch on to, like, oh yeah, that's going to be a problem later. Remember, these killers here are active, so when they stop being active, they could click onto the fact that those are the same documents that are missing as well. So with all of this being said, what exactly would Dexter's fate be? The thing with Dexter is we've seen multiple endings with him already now. He's already done the running away and stop killing conclusion, so I don't see that happening again, but I think a death is still on the table. I think there's 4 ways they could do it. 1, a sacrificial death. He dies saving people or someone, and not some arbitrary thing of him deciding Harrison has to kill him so he's not like him. I mean, he dies while achieving something or pursuing something like all the people that have tried to bring him down have had happen to them. It's not just a point of him dying that would mean something or would mean justice, but it's a point of him dying for something. This all comes under, although he's only killed bad people, people have died trying to bring him to justice. So because of them dying, no matter how annoying you might have found them at times, perhaps Dexter should go down for a good cause too, where he doesn't get to completely enjoy the killing that he does at the end, but dies while doing it, and Harrison sees, and really sees, that that's the path he would be going down if he was to succumb to his urges too. We've been able to see this much more receptive Harrison, so I don't think he will suddenly hate Dexter like in New Blood. It would be a gradual deciding of, I see what his Blythe got for him and I'm not going to do that. The second one is just getting caught. All this time we could have been seeing the origin story to the person that gets Dexter locked up, in Claudette. Remember, the narrative of this character is she's the best and sees what no one else sees, although she's also been fooled by Dexter like everyone else. For how long? She may even have the dilemma of choosing between continuing to chase the Ripper or going for what is right in front of her and avenging Batista. I think a prison cell would be better than the electric chair or any death sentence like that. I know that Clyde Phillips, the original showrunner, said that that was the original ending that he would have done in the original show, but I believe Showtime pushed it to be a more open ending, which I prefer. I get that it's all dark and giving Dexter what he did to so many people, but I find that it kind of belittles that Dexter isn't just some killer like even we've seen in other shows. He really is, no matter how bad what he does is, a good bad man, or a bad good man. The death sentence is something that him and his dad have always seen as the end of the slippery slope, and I don't think that's as justified as him just getting locked up for the people that have died trying to get him there. You know, maybe he should sit in prison with it. I don't like that a Dexter show would turn around and say, remember killing's bad, we're gonna kill him now. We already know it's bad, but Dexter isn't really the bad killer a normie could make him out to be. The third way is Dexter's story ends happily. He gets his own family with Harrison, and we see his vision of Harry and Deb sit with him as the camera zooms out, which would also be good, but I think the fourth way is where he continues to kill and it's left open-ended, and I would love if it involved the government or some secret group hiring him to go around the world in these different places to fit in and do what he does, to take out dangerous people. They're impressed with Dexter's work and only taking out bad people, and they want to use it and fund it. So the end of his story is, although he may be outed as the Bay Harbour Butcher, he's finally accepted and known for who he really is. No pretending needs to be done, which means they could carry on the show after that or close the story and have it be in Dexter's favour, giving him a happy ending, and where there is, as episode 10 was called, justice for all, he would still be outed as the Bay Harbour Butcher. The people that were taken out and or framed are cleared, so everyone wins. I would love that. I'm really not for these endings where it's dark for the sake of it. Leave it to shows like Black Mirror to do that, where we've known the character for 50 minutes. We've seen Dexter for nearly 20 years. We don't want him to have a bad ending. It's a TV show. They don't need to make a statement and say killing's bad. We already know. They did amazingly when they did stuff that we just wanted to see. You can have it go Dexter's way. But what do you think? How do you think Dexter's story story will end. Do you think there's anything else that they're going to be suspicious of? What do you think is going to happen? Let me know what you think down below. If you enjoyed this, go and watch my Better Call Saul iceberg. It's not just about Better Call Saul, it covers the broader Breaking Bad universe, and it's unexpectedly my darkest video. So much goes on in that video. You'd love it. Go and enjoy that. And you'd really like my latest Walking Dead What If video, What If Tyrese Survived. I recreate the whole Walking Dead timeline where Tyrese lived. Press the like button on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new with the notification bell set to all so you never miss a video from me. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.